Hi, my name is Emily Zipprich, and I am doing my progress monitoring discussion for SPED 730, Module 6. The first question says, what is progress monitoring? Progress monitoring is a way to assess struggling learners who have been identified for RTI interventions either for reading, math, or behavior. Progress monitoring helps determine if the interventions that are being offered to students that are struggling if they're helpful and if the students are making progress in the areas where they struggle. The second question says, how does progress monitoring work? Progress monitoring starts with a universal screener for everybody, and that quickly is able to identify who are the struggling learners, what areas do they struggle with, and helps put them on the track to getting more interventions that are appropriate for their needs. Those needing extra help, possibly Tier 2 or Tier 3 interventions, should be frequently monitored. At the least, the article that I read said that they should be monitored monthly, but optimally they should be screened or monitored weekly or bi-weekly to make sure that they are making progress and that the interventions are targeting what they need. The third question says, what are the benefits of progress monitoring? When progress monitoring is implemented correctly, it helps students learn more quickly because they're getting the instruction that they need that helps target their needs. It is the most appropriate instruction for where they're struggling and what can help them succeed. Teachers are able to know where their students are, where their strengths lie, but more importantly where their weaknesses and their needs are so that they can tailor educational accommodations or instruction to meet the needs of the learners in their classroom. They are also able to get the extra supports to target the help they need or in the area that they need. And furthermore, teachers and parents are able to communicate better and more often. Parents are able to see that their students are being given the help that they need in the areas that they need it, and they're able to talk to the teachers and find out what's being done to help their student, and possibly being able to do that in the home as an extension to help carry on that help so that the student is able to catch up to his or her peers and to become successful in the areas that showed struggle. And finally, another benefit is that it could help eliminate or lower the amount of special education referrals that are done, because it can help students by gathering data and giving them the appropriate instruction that they need, get them caught up to their peers so that the discrepancy between where they are and where their peers are progressing is eliminated, or the gap at least closes, so that they can be on track to progress to the next grade in the more challenging work. The fourth question says, what challenges face progress monitoring? One challenge that I read about did talk about how some of the areas that have been used are still under investigation and are still being researched to see if those are appropriate progress monitoring methods, or that if they're the most effective. I don't think that that's necessarily a bad thing, but if a school or students are being given that progress monitoring tool and it's not scientifically backed, then the data really isn't going along with the idea of RTI and their scientifically based evidence for success. But the major challenge in progress monitoring is training the staff and those who are going to administer the test. If teachers or administrators or paraprofessionals are not given the proper treatment, the proper training to give these assessments, then that kind of defeats the purpose of giving them in the first place, because the students take the test, they're looked at, they're placed in groups to get interventions, and if whoever is giving or looking at the data doesn't really understand it or doesn't know how to use it to benefit the students, then the students are going to continue to struggle in the areas where they struggle and are going to probably fall farther behind than their peers because they're not getting the help and the interventions that they need. And, progress monitoring has been called curriculum-based measurement, it's been called curriculum-based assessment, but regardless of what it's called, if it is used properly, then it can benefit the students and it can get them where they need, and it can, lower the amount of special ed referrals and the students that need those Tier 3 interventions. But if it's not, then progress monitoring is not going to work because students will not get the things that they need to help them be successful.